Experimental Station. Preface. It was a warm summer's day in 1969 when I first heard the remarkable story of a small, wooden, Japanese-built fishing vessel called the Krait, and her role in one of the most audacious commando missions undertaken during World War II. The late Australian war correspondent and author Ronald McKee, a friend of my father Colin, gave me the job of mowing his large lawn on the side of Mount Gibraltar in my hometown of Bowral in the New South Wales Southern Highlands. When the mowing was done, he would treat me to a glass of lemonade in the cool of his study, whose walls were adorned with a collection of framed front pages showing his reports from the Asian and European theatres of World War II. McKee would also regale me with his adventures as a war correspondent, which, to the eager ears of a 12-year-old boy, were simply enthralling. They remain enthralling to this day. One of the most extraordinary tales, which he had turned into a best-selling book, The Heroes, published in 1960, was the story of Operation Jaywick. This was the code name for a successful attack against Japanese shipping in Singapore Harbour on the night of the 26th of September 1943. A second, but disastrous mission a year later was codenamed Operation Rimau. The Jaywick raid is the stuff of legend among special forces. But outside those specialised circles, it is well known only to Australians of the surviving wartime and immediate post-war generations and military aficionados. Still less familiar is the story of the small, nondescript timber fishing boat that carried the 14 Allied commandos into the heart of enemy territory and delivered them safely back home. That story continues to this day, as the boat undergoes a new, careful renovation at the hands of expert shipwrights to bring her back to her 1943 configuration and to claim her rightful position as the symbolic flagship of Australian Special Forces operations. September 2018 marks the 75th anniversary of the Krait's amazing journey, but there is much more to the story of the little boat that could. Ian McPhedran, Sydney, 2018. Prologue. Late on the night of the 26th of September, 1943, 6 young men with blackened faces, paddling 3 canvas-covered, 2-man folding canoes, slid silently into Singapore Harbour, at the sharp end of one of the most daring and successful Special Forces raids in the history of warfare. As the lights of the occupied city blazed defiantly, none of the thousands of Japanese troops in the garrison, nor the hundreds of sailors on board the dozens of ships anchored in the harbour, could have imagined the cunning act of sabotage that was about to unfold. Singapore in late 1943 was the impregnable heart of the rapidly expanding Japanese Empire, and a prison island for thousands of Australians and other Allied troops at the infamous Changi prisoner of war camp. Just like the British imperialists before him, the then Prime Minister of Japan, General Hideki Tojo, regarded the Japanese-occupied island as untouchable. After attaching magnetic limpet mines to 7 ships, the 6 raiders sneaked out of the harbour at the start of an arduous and exhausting 80-kilometre island-hopping return paddle, hoping and praying that they would be able to rendezvous with their mother ship, the MV Krait, for the long voyage home to Australia. Reaching their first lying-up position on a tiny island off Singapore several hours later, 4 of the saboteurs climbed a hill from where they could see the brilliant lights. They watched and listened in awe as